Once we were a beacon of light for the world. The Ummah of Muhammad stood united, unbreakable. Our land stretched from the deserts of Arabia to the farthest corners of the earth. We were the architects of knowledge, the protectors of justice, and the standard-bearers of truth. Our scholars enlightened the world while our warriors defended the oppressed. Under Allah's guidance, we thrived. We were strong. We were dignified. We were unstoppable. But look at us now, weak, divided, humiliated. Our lands are occupied, our dignity stripped, our voices silenced. Once the world respected us, now it pities us. How did we, the Ummah of over 1 billion souls, fall so far? How did we become shadows of the people who once changed the course of history? Allah warned us in Surah At-Tawbah, verse 24. Say, O Prophet, if your parents, your children, your wealth, your trade, and the homes you cherish are more beloved to you than Allah, His Messenger, and striving in His way, then wait until Allah brings His command. Allah does not guide the defiantly disobedient. This is no ordinary warning. It's a verdict, a mirror reflecting the heart of our failure. We abandoned our purpose. We loved this world more than Allah. We chose wealth over worship, comfort over courage, and division over unity. And now we live the consequences of that choice. Allah's command has come down upon us. Humiliation, division, occupation. But this humiliation is not permanent. It's a wake-up call. The question is, will we rise to answer it, or will we continue to fall further into the depths of disgrace? The love of this material world blinds us to our purpose. It starts small, a desire for wealth, status, comfort. But over time, it takes over, consuming our thoughts, our actions, and our very souls. The Prophet said, "The love of this world is the root of all sin." Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. When we chase material wealth and worldly pleasures, we adapt quickly to whatever we gain. That new car, that bigger house, that job promotion satisfies us briefly, but soon it feels ordinary, and we want more. The chase never ends. And here's the paradox. People will sacrifice their sleep for wealth, endure humiliation for power, and even compromise their health chasing fleeting pleasures. Yet when Allah calls us to sacrifice, when His Messenger urges us to strive for a cause that transcends this world, we falter. We hesitate. Why? Why are we so willing to exhaust ourselves for what is temporary, but so reluctant to exert even a fraction of that effort for what is eternal? The Prophet warned us, when you engage in trade and hold on to the tails of cows, content with agriculture, and abandon striving in the cause of Allah, Allah will impose humiliation upon you. He will not remove it until you return to your religion. Loving this world doesn't elevate us, it enslaves us, and the price of that slavery is humiliation. Through our neglect and disobedience, Satan inspires external forces to rise against us. He uses our spiritual weakness to allow enemies to occupy our lands, extract our resources, and rule over us. What was once ours is taken, not because they are stronger, but because we allowed ourselves to become weak. When we neglect Allah, we lose control over our hearts. The devil knows this, and he exploits it. He whispers into our ears, twisting our desires. Allah created us with good impulses, the need for love, dignity, and nobility. But Satan corrupts these. He convinces us that love is sexual excess, that dignity is arrogance, that nobility is power over others. The Prophet said, "The heart, when exposed to sin repeatedly, becomes darkened." This is why our priorities matter. The Prophet gave us the key. Whoever makes the hereafter his goal. Allah makes his heart rich, organizes his affairs, and the world comes to him despite his reluctance. But whoever makes the world his goal, Allah puts poverty before his eyes and disorganizes his affairs. Reflect on this. When we aim for the eternal, Allah grants us contentment, clarity, and success, both in this life and the next. But when we chase dunya, we are left with anxiety, chaos, and an unquenchable thirst for more. This spiritual weakness doesn't just affect us, it invites external exploitation. The devil doesn't need to destroy us. He simply inspires others to take advantage of our divisions. A disunited Ummah cannot defend its lands, its resources, or its dignity. Ask yourself, are you being led by your faith or by your desires? Because one path leads to dignity and the other leads to destruction. It's not too late. Allah's command is not a punishment, it's an invitation to return to Him. So, how do we begin? Examine your priorities. What do you love most? Where do you invest your time and energy? If it's not directed toward Allah, it's time to realign. Step off the hedonic treadmill. Break free from the cycle of endless desires. True contentment comes from spiritual fulfillment, not worldly success. Commit to excellence. The Prophet said, Allah loves that when you do something, you do it with excellence. Reclaim spiritual strength. A strong heart builds strong families, and strong families build strong communities. Unite the Ummah. The Prophet said, the believers are like one body. If one part hurts, the whole body responds. Reconnect with the Qur'an. Reflect on it daily. Let its light illuminate your path back to Allah. The future of the Ummah begins with a single heart that chooses Allah over this material world. Will that heart be yours? Faith is built on patience, perseverance, and gratitude. Together they transform hearts, strengthen families, and rebuild nations. The devil thrives on our distractions, but the moment we turn to Allah, His power fades. The command of Allah has come. The only question is, will you rise to meet it?